All right, now we're going to start with everybody's favorite, which is color application. And again, keep in mind, nothing overly frosty. The only part that you can really put any iridescent strength on someone with more mature skin is right up at the brow bone. Again, we've done our nice linear angle type of eyebrow right here and right here. And what we can do is just make the brow bone, if you have to add shimmer, if you have to add anything that's got a little iridescence to it, make this the place that you do it right through here, okay? And if one color is too much and it's got too much shine to it, you can always cut it with a matte. So you can take, if you've got two colors, a vanilla and a shimmer and a vanilla and a matte, cut them together. That matte will help take away some of that shine and shimmer. Always anchoring, pulling up. Again, more mature skin, we always want to think about everything being pulled up. And one trick I always do is I always ever use shadow, or if it's blush color or whatever it is on my brush, only on one side, and then I keep the other side completely clean. So I can go in and pop my color in, and if it's become too heavy anywhere, I can go through on the bare side and just kind of clean it out, okay? Again, on this side, anchoring it, always pulling up. Going through with my bare side and making sure that's nice and blended. So again, you have an uplift. Again, 'cause it's always about pulling the face and the skin up, but it's not overly frosty or shimmery. Okay, now I'm going to make sure you keep that foundation and that concealer from striping onto the ball of the eye. All right, I'm going to continue adding my color application, and now the same color that I use on the brow bone, I'm also going to use on the ball of the eye. Only because, again, I really want to open up and make her eyes larger. Again, dabbing over that fresh skin that's got the foundation, the concealer on it, to make sure there's no ridges and none of that moisture and creaminess is sitting into the skin. And you can see this is really important, the popping application of this brush. Again, it's no longer about sweeping or striping, it's about placing it into the skin. You get much more wearability out of it. Now, probably my #1 favorite brush on the planet, anybody will tell you if they've ever had a lesson with me or a client or in the academy, is my blender brush. And I probably own about 20 of these. And 9 times out of 10, you'll see me use it with no product at all. I'm constantly going in and reblending makeup, and that's probably one of the #1 steps where people get messed up in a makeup application, is by not blending the color palette that's on the face, okay? Now again, I'm gonna go back to my warm bagel color here, and I'm just barely tipping it on the very tips of that blender brush. And I'm gonna go in right by her orbital bone and put in a little bit of contour. This is the same exact color that we used in her eyebrows. And it's really just another form of highlighting and contouring, right? We've highlighted, we've contoured, and we've highlighted. And if you'll make note, I have still not powdered the face. Again, that foundation that I'm using, the liquid foundation, dries to a light powder finish, so I'm going to let that work for me. The nice thing about not over powdering is that if you are doing your makeup application on yourself or you're applying it to somebody else and something messes up and falls onto the skin, all you have is supple, creamy skin right here to work through to correct a problem. You could take your foundation brush, work right through it, or your concealer brush. If I had loaded on powder on Peggy's face, I would have had powder, concealer, and foundation to get through. So I always tell people, think about your overall powdering as kind of like the very last step that you need to be doing. Okay, look at me. Okay. All right, now I'm going to continue on to the eye. We've done some highlighting and contouring. I like to go in on that water line, especially with someone who has really fair skin, and you could do a nude liner during the day if you didn't want something heavier like a brown on the inside of the eye. Look up for me. I'm going to go through and do a brown and basic application of working on someone's waterline. Make sure you don't pull down the eye. Make sure that if you just tap it, it naturally folds out, as you can see. So when I just tap it, Peggy's comes out. Tap it, folds right out. Typically whenever you pull somebody's eye is where you're going to start to get all of the water shed. Okay? Look up for me. Now, the reason I like to do this is especially on blondes or women of more mature skin. It looks a little awkward right now, but again, what that's going to do is it really helps to whiten out all those capillaries in the eyes. And we have a lot of that as we get older. It's harder to keep our eyes, the white part of the eyes, really truly white. And that's a really good tool that makeup artists use, is to go in that water line. A lot of people have an old school thought process that it closes down the eye. We use it because it's a sexier look, and we also use it because it helps the whites of the eyes become even whiter. And it also gives a really nice picture frame to her eye color that's going to start becoming more exposed. All right, now I'm going in with another angle brush, pulling up the eye, and I'm going to use powder as liner. One thing I don't like to see is a really messy eyeliner application. And another thing I cannot stand to see is a more mature woman's makeup application with liquid eyeliner. It's not attractive. Liquid eyeliner is one of those eyeliners that's used for a specific look and really shouldn't be part of an everyday makeup application, especially for more mature skin. All right, now we're going to continue on to the other eye. As you can see, I took my angle brush, I dipped it in my 2 matte chocolate and then deep chocolate or dark chocolate colors, went right along that lash line. It's a much prettier effect on more mature skin. They don't need to have any type of liner that you haven't gone over with any type of powder. Powder's great because it sets and it will stay there. So again, let's go to the other side. The uniqueness here is really being able to manipulate that and get into the skin. And it's just about being really soft on the ball of the eye and almost just pushing that skin out so you can get to it. And always tap it on the back of your hand so you don't get all the color falling onto the top of the cheekbone. And then I always, on the ends out here, just raise it up a skosh. Not to an extreme cat eye, but again, so the eyes are being uplifted upwards.